Hello and welcome to another Science 9 crash course. In this video we are going to learn about biological diversity and variation. Biological diversity is simply the number and variety of organisms in an area. So why is biodiversity so important? One of the more important reasons is ecosystem stability. Biodiversity is very similar to the game of Jenga. And just like in the game, you have to start building the tower at the bottom with the producers working your way up to the consumers for a nice, stable tower. If too many organisms are removed from the ecosystem, it will eventually collapse. Another reason why biodiversity is so important is because humans can benefit from it. For example, aspirin was originally derived from the bark of a willow tree. So how do scientists know if an area has high or low biodiversity? To determine the biological diversity of an area, biologists use a measurement called the diversity index. The diversity index is a mathematical calculation that compares the diversity of species in an area with the total number of organisms in the same area. Now let's talk about variations. Variations are the differences in appearance and behavior of an organism within a group or a population. Variations are not only found in humans, but in all populations or groups of similar living things. Variation is critical to the survival of a group of organisms. Because of those differences, some of the organisms are going to be able to survive if there's a change in the environment. Groups of organisms that are similar we call a species. A species is a group of organisms that share similar genetic and physical characteristics. They usually interbreed and produce fertile offspring. There are, however, some exceptions to this rule. Take, for instance, the lion and the tiger. They do not typically interbreed in nature, however in captivity we have been able to breed them to produce a liger. And of course we've been able to breed other species together like the horse and the donkey to make a mule. It is estimated that on this earth there are 8.7 million different species. So where did they all come from? Scientists believe that it is through the process of speciation. The process of speciation means that over time an organism will evolve or change into a similar yet separate species. Organisms can also change without becoming another species. This is called adaptation. There are two main types of adaptation. The first are called structural adaptations. Structural adaptations are physical features that allow an organism to better survive or reproduce in its environment. For example, this bird of prey has talons to help it catch fish, and this polar bear has thick fur to help it survive in a cold winter environment. The next type of adaptation are called behavioral adaptations. These are things that an organism does or habits that it has that allow it to survive better or reproduce better in the environment. For example, bears might hibernate in the winter, or geese might migrate south during cold winter months. This brings this crash course to an end.